It is an undeniable fact that today our kids trail too many other countries in math, in science, in reading. Our kids only get one shot at a decent education. They cannot afford to wait any longer.
What happens to our students if nobody pays attention to them?
We were all horribly shocked when we saw that we had a 7% proficiency rate in math. It actually dropped by 50% from the year before, and it was an issue.
Less than half of the students in DC public schools are reading and doing math at their grade level.
All the eyes in the country are now on DC. What we are embarking upon is a fight for the lives of children.
One of my friends, Desmond, that was like my brother. He took this guy iPhone and they shot him and he died right there. And that's when I changed my life around.
We have $1.1 billion budget in DC public schools. The real question is how are we making it a priority to focus on the areas that need it most?
People will judge you all day when they don't really even know who you is. It's like a whole rack of outsiders looking in, but they looking in like the wrong way.
Education is the civil rights.
This is the civil rights issue.
The civil rights issue of our day.
We keep getting bombarded with slogans and ways from outside on how we should improve the inside. Come live here for a while, then tell us how to change it. Come in here, check it out.
So handsome. I'm the next girl.
Look here. I just moved to this foster home like a year ago. It takes me 40 minutes to get to school because I have to go all the way uptown. I could have went to Anacostia, but I didn't want to. I wanted to be a part of DC Math first graduating class. It just seemed like it's the best thing to me. So I take all this time just to go all the way up there. I used to be bad. So everybody know me as Raven, the Raven that changed. Yeah. I can't take nobody telling me what to do, when to do it. And that's how I used to be. And I used to get in a whole rack of fights, like group fights with gang fights. I used to carry knives around. I used to beat people up just to do it. I used to cuss the teachers out. I used to be horrible. Whew. My father, he was born on July 4th. So we used to have like a cookout. He'd make crabs, he'd do all this other stuff, and everybody would come over the house. I lived in Marlboro Plaza with my father at that time. And Marlboro Plaza is like real high. So you can see the monument and stuff and the fireworks. I was scared of the sparkly things, the ones that you light and you hold around, you spinning around and stuff. I used to be terrified of them. But my father used to always like help me and help me do it and stuff. And we had so much fun. I had a rough lifestyle, I can say. I never wanted for nothing in life, but it was a hard lifestyle as anybody adult look into it. My mother was on drugs. I used to see the effect of the drugs on her, and I never knew what it exactly was until I grew up. because like she'd come out the bathroom nodding, or like she'd stutter over words, or she couldn't take us to school. My grandmother reported my mother because we was missing school, and they put me with my father and they put my little brother with his father. Going through all that and me had to just stay strong for my little brother, it changed me to the fact that I never had to like have a responsibility of holding my brother, like making sure he don't cry, make sure he understand what's going on. So I think that's when it began that I had anger issues. Like I started acting different, because I mean, it's hard for a child to be taken away from their mother at a young age. This is my room. All right, on this side of the wall, it's my rest in peace wall, that's what I call it. I got my friend Desmond. He died in 2010. And I got my friend EJ, Eugene. Well, I started acting out over time. I be disrespectful to teachers. They say sit down, I'm like, no, I ain't sitting down. Like, I had a problem with authority, and I really ain't like it. This like a memory wall. This like math stuff. That's my test from last year. I got a B- on it. This is a go-go picture. I used to be on the street a long time at night, selling drugs, getting what I gotta get, and robbing people. That was like the most thing I did. I used to do it like every day after school. It was like a relief. Like it was like the way I get my stress out. Like hitting somebody, I just felt like, oh, I'm just giving what I feel. Like this, I want them to feel how I feel.
Come and talk to me. I don't care what you look like when you come in here. He doesn't care what you look like when you come into church. I don't care if you got jeans on. I don't care, whatever it is. Nothing should block you from getting to God's presence.
My 9th grade year, I remember I used to hang out with these girls. Everybody used to call me because I'm a big girl. So they came to my house and they was like, "Ray, we got to go fight this girl." And back then I was a hothead. So I was like, all right, we got to go fight. We went down there and then they was like, all right, we can't find her, so we got to go to church. So I'm like, ho, church? I don't do church. And they was like, nah, son, for real, it's not even like every other church. They gonna accept me for who you are and all that. So I was like, all right. So I went to church, the same church I go to every Friday now. It was like a different lifestyle, and I sat in there, and I just felt like God was talking to me. It was like, I just felt like He was like, oh, Raymond, it's time for you to change. But I still didn't change right then and there. I still was doing what I was doing, but I still went to church. So it's like over the time, church started to influence me into being a different person. It changed me.
It's a crazy, messed up, terrible thing to think that you can do it all by yourself. Some of you deserve to be in a mental institution right now. All the hell you've been through, all the stuff your family has put you through, you don't even deserve to be sane right now. When you think about how you survived the divorce, you've seen your parents on drugs, you survived the rape, you survived the abortion, you survived the overdose, you survived the gang initiation, you survived a whole lot. That'll make anybody else crazy, but you still got it together. Why? His word. He says, I'll be with you in trouble and out of trouble.
The thing, like I said, is going to sell it. Doing poetry is like acting out your emotion. So you got to sell your poetry. You got to put your body and your heart into it.
Poetry is my outlet. When I write poetry, I'm putting everything down on paper. I'm letting everything out. My stuff is more like a real life situation where some other people write about like flowers are red, roses are blue, that stuff like that. So poetry is just a way I can express myself. My name is Raven Quattlebaum. I wrote this poem to show everybody that I let my adversities push me instead of pulling me down. A nightmare looking for a dream. I have a nightmare that's filled with hatred and insanity, but when I wake up, it turns to happy endings. Why is this happening to a person that loves dreams? My dreams are coming too slow, but my nightmares are coming too fast.
Who am I? The #1 question in my book of unanswered prayers. I'm not a stone, I do break. A fallen angel's heart's been broken. I'm just as loving as you. Boys cry too.
Life with me ain't been a crystal stair. It had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up in places with no carpet on the floor bare. But all the time I've been climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners. Going to places where ain't been no light, dark. Langston Hughes.
In this city where children wallow in dreams deeply rooted in sorrow like willows, since 10 years old, they'll have thoughts of leaving their education widowed, killing nothing but their chances and hopes to liberate whatever soul they got left. I've made a decision not to chance it and take my chances at college classes with this 1.6 average.
Had to grow up fast, couldn't live my childhood like others. The system molded me, but I made myself be the person I am now. All above, you can see that life, it haven't been a crystal staircase for me. After my 10th grade year, I started just being back in church more and more and more. I talked to my youth pastor plenty of times, and he gave me to realize that God's gonna accept you for who you are. I mean, I'm gonna be me. It's a picture in my room that I have a dress on. You can tell in my face, like, that child hate that dress. Like, I never like wearing dresses. So my mother had an idea, but when I first told my mother, I was about 12. That's when I was like, I don't care about nobody saying I'm gonna come out and stuff. And back then it was not cool. Like, everybody was like, you gay, what? Ooh, you like girls?
Run your profession of faith in Him, pray. I baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
My mother, she's still not comfortable with me being that way, but she has accepted that this is how I am, this is what I'm gonna be, and she said that she's gonna love me no matter what. One of my friends, his name was Desmond, he took this guy's iPhone, and somebody came around his neighborhood, and he was outside, and Desmond, they shot him, and they kept on shooting him. That was like my brother, that was like my homie, my road dog. Anywhere he was at sometimes, I was right there. So that's what made me stop actually doing everything I was doing. That's when I changed my life around. And I remember before he died, we was just talking about how we was gonna change our lives, how we was gonna start doing our work in school and all that, but he never got the chance to do it. So when I graduate, it's like Desmond graduating right with me. So graduation day, it's gonna be a big day for me.
We're gonna shoot for 4 or 5 college. We're gonna get 4 or 5 acceptance letters today.
Yeah, all of them gonna accept me.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah.
I started off this college tour, I think 5 or 6 years ago.
Like that?
Yeah, so like
that. All right. Let's see if we get you some money too. How's that?
That sounds good.
That's even better, right?
I thought that every child should have the same quality access that I had. And where I didn't graduate at the top or at the middle, I graduated at the bottom. And I was sitting around a friend's house, and a friend's mom asked me to go to this thing for a college. So 3 or 4 of us, we actually went. We sat down and we listened to this college, and we left. And that college was the only college that accepted me, called Talladega College in Alabama. I didn't know where Talladega was on the map, but that's where I ended up going to school. And when I became a council member, I decided that I'm going to give every child an opportunity to be exposed to a college and to be able to go to college.
Let me say this. This is the 5th group we brought down here. And they know when DC walks in that DC's gonna come in right. And they're excited, a lot of colleges are excited to see the students from the District of Columbia come down. So we're gonna go to auditorium. All right, you ready? You ready? All right, let's go.
There's about 30 or 40 colleges. They come and they interview our students on the spot. Many students never filled out a college application in their life. And it's the most rewarding experience because these aren't the kids at the top. These aren't the kids in the middle. These are the kids at the bottom. And many of them are their first time that anyone in their family's ever gone to college.
Our sociology social work program is an accredited degree. So it's
Yes, our student-to-teacher ratio is 11 to 1.
I want to get an application.
Okay, you have a transcript?
Yes, and I have my SAT and ACT.
I can wait on the ACT and SAT if I can keep the transcript.
Yeah, you can keep the transcript.
If I can keep the transcript, I'm going to take this, and you
Okay.
go ahead and start working on that.
Okay.
All right.
We start evaluating at an 850, or we start evaluating at a 17 for the ACT. Right now, you're just slightly below where we need you to be on the ACT.
Okay.
You got your information about Lincoln?
I had already applied here and they said my scores was not good enough.
Oh, really?
She said everything else was good, but I had to take the SAT and ACT over.
It's just not about taking the SAT. It's just not about what their GPA was. Raven, she had to tell her story. And colleges, they start to understand this young lady can be successful if she had a chance.
If I had Miss Qualified.
That's me right here.
Ring that bell.
The back.
Congratulations.
Thank you
have
so
been
much.
accepted to Bennett College in Greensboro, North Carolina. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Ah, oh, it's that feeling. I doubted myself. See how God working? He's working in here. It's hot in here.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey Maurice, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Good,
Thanks
right?
for coming in.
Even with all of the adversities that Raven's overcome, she was prepared when the opportunity knocked at the door, and she was able to walk through
I
it.
tell you, it was a life-changing day for some high school students in D.C., a big group. Rode down to North Carolina. How did you even prepare for it, and how did that preparation help you?
First having my transcripts and also my SAT and ACT scores, because without that we wouldn't even be able to get accepted to a college.
In life, there are all kinds of people who go through all kinds of stuff every day. Our kids are just younger. It's incumbent upon us to give them the skills to navigate successfully through that and to not lose focus on their own futures. I believe that all of our kids have it in them to make these decisions, but it's hard work. And sometimes it just takes longer. They're like flowers, they blossom at different times.